It's my birthday. Morning all. Another day. Kids are off at the little club again, and I am going to do something that I've tried to do every year for my birthday. Admittedly, there have been a couple of years where we haven't been able to, but it'll be nice to actually go and do it again. Yeah. So I start off my trip to Bury with a trip to the Bury Gardens. I'm currently sitting on the world's first internet-ready bench. There's a video about that already on the channel. If you haven't seen it, there's a link, hopefully in the top corner somewhere, that you can look at. But yeah, it was the time I decided to start putting proper videos rather than just rubbish online. And I filmed it whilst Tasha was in hospital. Kind of keep my mind off everything, keep me distracted. And it sort of helped a bit, I guess. But we do have another stop off today. And this stop is Starbucks. By tradition, every year, for our birthdays, we used to come here, get the same thing every time. One take caramel macchiato and a tall vanilla latte. It's strange only having one drink now. But it's made me think about a lot of things. I mean, all of this has got me thinking about, things like perspective. The way you see things. It took me a few moments this morning to realise I'm 42. And I have joked about 42 for a long time. In fact, it's the only time I think my science teacher, Mr. Mullins, actually appreciated me. As you can probably guess, I wasn't particularly great at school. But he set a test. I believe I was in year 7 or year 8, and a question on the test, it was one of those end of year ones that doesn't mean anything, but it's just fun. And he set a question on it, which was, what is the meaning of life? And there were answers from everyone about being kind or generous or, looking to the future and stuff. And I just sat there with my hand up, and he eventually got to me. I said 42, and I got a point for that. I think that's the only time I think he was impressed with me. But but taking 42 as the meaning of life, it's put a lot of things into perspective. And I'm trying to get a lot of things into perspective now. For example, if I asked you, have a look at your keyboard and tell me what key is in between F and G. Have a close look at your keyboard and tell me what key is in between F and G. And that's where I sat, enjoying a coffee for an hour, in a t-shirt with my face on, being both happy and sad at the same time. Happy that it's my birthday, and sad that I'm going to be spending it alone. Don't get me wrong, it was nice. Give me time to think. But nobody there knew that I was happy or sad. And that's why I say perspective. Because if nobody knows that I'm happy or sad, I've got no idea if they're happy or sad. No idea if anyone's going through something similar to what I'm going through, or whether or not people just don't know. I know I'm not alone in all of this. But I also know that I don't want people to feel sorry for me just because of what's happened. And I don't want people to, jump to try and rescue me or help me just because. Because everyone has their own little thing to deal with. And that's fine. So what has any of this got to do with anything? Well, I'm trying to get perspective on everything because it lets me know where I am and how I'm doing. Because one of the main problems you have in any situation like this is that you start to see things where there isn't something. Cleo says hi. Or even worse, you look for things that aren't actually there. So by sticking perspective on it, taking that time out for myself to actually evaluate what's about, I can figure out what I shouldn't have and what isn't real. What should be there. How does this relate to my question though? Well, look at your keyboard. What key is between F and G? Shift your perspective. It's F sharp. Time for an info dump. Welcome back to another tech dump. So I told you about the silly forgotten war, but there are other equally baffling wars to learn about. Like the Great Australian Emu War, where Australia fought against its emus. And the emus won. But I will let you look that one up for yourself, because today I want to talk about something even better. Uncovering one of history's most bizarre and hilarious battles, the Battle of Carnancebus. Buckle up for a rollercoaster ride of mishaps and misunderstandings. Picture this. It's 1788. In a remote village in Carnancebus, present-day Romania, the Austrian army is camped out preparing to face the Ottoman Empire in a serious battle. Here's the deal. The Austrian soldiers were a diverse bunch, speaking various languages. We've got Germans, Hungarians, Croatians, and more, all serving together. Language barriers can be tough, but adding a pinch of alcohol to the mix, and things can get even crazier. After hearing rumours of an imminent Ottoman attack, they were relaxing with a few bottles of schnapps. Little did they know that the rumours of the Ottoman attack were just that, rumours. The Ottomans were still miles away, and the Austrian troops were celebrating their supposed victory in advance. And so, as it always does with alcohol, the arguing started over who had what bottles, with few understanding the other languages. And what started as a friendly celebration turned into a chaotic mess as the soldiers turned on each other, fighting over their precious schnapps. And then it gets even crazier. As the Austrian troops fought amongst themselves, they mistook the sound of their own gunfire for the Ottoman attack. They were convinced they were under surprise attack and started running in fear. Just imagine a bunch of soldiers running away from an imaginary enemy, tripping over their own feet. It was utter chaos, culminating in the Holy Roman Emperor Joseph II being pushed off his horse into a creek. In the end, the Ottoman army did arrive, only to find the Austrian camp deserted. The Austrian army lost around 500 cannons and 10,000 men that day. The Ottoman army lost none, mostly because they weren't there to join in. And as humorous as that may be, the Battle of Carnancebus teaches us an essential lesson. Clear communication is crucial, especially in high-stress situations. Misunderstandings can lead to chaotic and unintended consequences, whether it's on the battlefield or in our everyday lives. So let's strive to communicate effectively and avoid those Battle of Carnancebus moments. So there you have it. The Battle of Carnancebus, a historical event that will forever be remembered for its comedic twist. History is filled with exciting and funny stories just waiting to be discovered, so go have a look. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more of my insane tales, make sure you hit that thumbs up, share this with some fellow history buffs, and go and subscribe on YouTube so you don't miss anything. But for now, see you next time.